there's a movement like
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome, welcome, welcome. In for a historic one here. The verdict is in the New York quote hush money case. It's been brought by DA Alvin Bragg. About 4:30, the jurors said that they had a verdict as they're about to close out the day, and the judge has said that the verdict is in. They requested about a half an hour to fill out the forms due to some lengthy verdict forms. So that's what's going on right now. Judge Merchan is back on the bench. The jury is supposedly coming back in any moment here. I would like to just remind you, YouTube thinks I'm harmful disinformation, so this probably will get struck. So watch it now, or you might miss it. Also, we're on Rumble and X. Welcome, X. I see you guys over there. How y'all doing? When I got struck over here because I'm talking about something they don't like me talking about, then join us on one of those platforms. They're great. With that being said, we are just waiting for an update. Obviously, there's no cameras in the courtroom, so we're not going to get any live reaction. But I'm constantly refreshing very diverse sets. I think we're over at New York Times right now. They're just talking about Trump's posture, Trump's everything, all that good stuff. So they said he was jovial when he came into the courtroom, and then dramatics. Oh, he held his head low and blah blah, whatever. Our latest update, as you can see on the screen, Trump is sitting very still, his head slightly tilted to the right. So that's big news. We need to know these things, where Trump's head is. So courtroom is extremely tense as we wait for juries to be brought in. What do I predict? I think they found him guilty. That's just my That's just I don't think he is, but I think that juror number 2 probably flipped. What's up, Grims? Thanks for the super, buddy. Yeah, let me pull one up. I'll put one up. I think likely you're gonna have. I thought it was always gonna be guilty. You see the left kind of backpedaling on stuff now. They're starting to say, oh well, he probably won't serve any jail time, um, even if he is guilty. Donald Trump guilty, not guilty. We know it's not hung because it would have continued to send him back. CNN had a juror profile and doxed the shit out of some jurors, some information that could only be obtained. So we'll see what that happens. Let's see. We got 2 new updates. Let's see what they say. Jury's filing in now. The alternate center first and sit in the front row of the gallery. They were not part of the deliberations, but they kept them on the entire time for whatever reason. So we're just, like I said, we're waiting for the jury to come in, read the verdict. There is no cameras in the courtroom, so it will be all up to the media personalities. One juror appeared to glance at Trump. The others didn't. Huh. And like I said, if I had to bet on it, I would say guilty. I always thought it was going to be guilty just because of the venue and the way that it was handled. So I think there's probably a pretty good indication that it is going to be a guilty verdict. Again, that doesn't do much for anything, and it will be really interesting how sentencing comes down, but there shouldn't be a significant sentence either. So, ABC writes Donald Trump awaiting the verdict that will be read around 5 a.m. You think that 8 p.m.? Yeah, the jury's coming in now, so they were going to wrap up for the day at 4:30. The jury said, "Nah, we have a verdict." The jury then requested a half an hour to fill out the jury forms, and that's where we're at. So it should be around 5:10, somewhere in that general vicinity that we should get it. So it should be any moment now. Watching a couple different feeds as well as a couple different updates to see what is going on. I have the Associated Press, a couple just diverse ranges. So we can see who's first. Again, I probably think that this is a guilty verdict. I don't think it should be, but that's the way it's been trending. And we have it. Trump is guilty on the first 8 counts. Counts 9 through 11 are guilty. So there you have it. What's up, Josh Chandler? So Trump is guilty on 11 counts. So there are 34. I wonder if they're going to bring up the rest of them. So we'll bring up the first 11 counts. $34 felony counts in Trump's hush money. So these are all documents, the invoices, the entry and the detail general ledger, entry in the detailed general ledger, check and check stub, invoice, entry, check, invoice, entry in the detailed general ledger, check and check stub, invoice. So he's guilty on those 11 so far. Let's see what the rest of them are. And I would assume that they're going to be all the rest of them as well. Come on, update, you bastard. Let's refresh. Guilty on all counts. So there you have it. That was always the intention of this show trial. You're 100% right, ivermectin. So he's 33% guilty. Yeah. So, apparently they got the one guy to flip, or maybe he was just, always part of the show trial. But there you have it. Donald Trump guilty on all counts. I don't know. They were talking about remanding him to custody, which seems kind of bullshit, but this whole thing's been bullshit. So, uh, we'll take a look over here. So here is the 34 felony counts. So 11 for legal invoices, 11 for checks, and 12 for ledger entries. So these are the counts, all 34 of them. So, well, I mean, we'll see. Trump is unresponsive. Trump was convicted of all 34 counts of falsifying business records. And this is the headline that they wanted. This is what they wanted the entire time. He is the first American president to become a felon. That is 100% what they wanted the entire time. For those of you just joining us, Trump guilty on all 34 all 34 counts. I don't know if they're all felonies. Are they? Yes, they are. Oops, and I didn't switch back over. Right there. He's the first American president to become a felon. So he's now a convicted felon. Exactly. I mean, we all knew this was coming. It doesn't change anything. The next thing, of course, they're going to try and do is disqualify him. So we know that's coming. But this is all just complete, utter bullshit. This is just another talking point. This is just them saying it again. So it'll be interesting. I want to see. The verdict is still being read. So welcome to communism, ladies and gentlemen. That's my curiosity. Is he going to be remanded immediately to custody? Is he going to be out pending? I mean, what happens now? He can. You can always appeal. Is he going to be in jail for the next, whatever till sentencing? Could. It depends on your reading of the text. I'll still vote for the guy. But yeah, I think that was always the thought behind all these counts is one for the sound bites to be able to say he's a convicted felon, and two was to disqualify him from running for president. So Judge Stinkin jury admires their hard work. Fuck off. Sorry, personal. All the jurors have individually confirmed. Judge Marchand tells the jurors they can discuss the case if they want to, but their book deal's coming, but they do not have to. The choice is theirs. But they are no longer barred from discussing the case. Who do you think is the first juror that's going to be on CNN? My money, I think it's 3. I think my money's on 3. Let me check. Because we have a profile, and there's one in specific I'm thinking about. It was not 3. Which one is it? Oh, 9. I bet you 9 was the first one on CNN. Yeah. So they're gonna have to bring in. I mean, they already discussed and talked to the Secret Service about him in jail. There's no visible reaction from Alvin Bragg, the Manhattan DA, who's sitting right in front of me listening. Piss off. Blah blah blah. Who cares? I'll put this on the doohickey here. Nothing. I thought this was the way it was going to go the entire time. I was hopeful that our system of justice still worked, but apparently not. He should. I hope. I hope. I'm waiting to see, because if they don't remand him into custody immediately, you know damn well he's going to come out and talk. Like, so I'm trying to wait for that. Jailing your political rivals is not a good look. Exactly. Exactly. Oh shit, Jesus. When did when did well, I know it is. I know it's an erotic fiction for them, but when did journalists become these anyways? Like his face, how he looked. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's no question. I mean, this is crazy for a case that, mind you, nobody wanted to touch. It's what, 7 years old now? You did miss it. Guilty on all 34 counts. Amazing. 34 felony counts. This was turned down by several prosecutors, including federal prosecutors, which is the quote unquote law that he broke. Was a federal law. So this was highly political, as everyone here knows, I'm sure. Um, and it's for two reasons. It's one, so they have the soundbite of Trump's a felon. Oh my god, which is going to backfire. Um, and the other part is that they're going to try and disqualify him from running. I've always said the first step was dust him up. That didn't work. Poll numbers rose. Now they're going to try and disqualify him. That's not going to work. Poll numbers are going to rise, and then they're gonna let Hillary go to work, and then that's probably going to work. So, Todd Blanche is asking for the court sentencing to take place in mid to late July. See, right there. They wouldn't put it if they weren't. The lawyers approach the bench. Trump, now a felon, sits isolated at the defense table. Judge immediately denies the motion of Todd Blanche, arguing the verdict is improper and should be tossed because it relies on Michael Cohen's testimony. So I'm just waiting. I think that's the biggest thing now is he going to be remanded into custody, or are they going to let him essentially free as a convicted felon, a terrible, disgusting convicted felon? Well, that's exactly it. I think there might be more justice in Russia if this is any indication. Sentencing set for July 11th. As expected, Trump will have to receive a probation report as a standard in state court. The report typically takes 4 to 6 weeks. Okay, tell me if he's remanded to custody or if they're going to let him go. Again, this is not no, sentencing is going to be July 11th. So we won't see sentencing for a little over a month, about 6 weeks. So we won't see sentencing for 6 weeks. It appears from the outside that they're not going to put him in custody based on. Well, I guess I can show you. I'm watching AP, not our AP, the AP. Oh, they already got the signs. Don the felon. Damn, that was quick. Holy shit. That is a good screen printing company. That's exactly it. That's exactly it. They already have the Trump is a felon signs. And here's their other win statement. Alvin Bragg has become the first prosecutor ever to convict a former president, which is a significant overreach of power that somebody on the state level in New York can convict a U.S. president. But we'll talk about that later. The trial team is packing up bags, evicting Evansing. I think he spelled that wrong, but I don't know. No visible emotion. The judge excuses the party, but not before asking Trump's bail status. He then releases him on his own recognizance. Trump leaves the courtroom, shaking his son's Eric's hand as he departs. Jaw strong as he walks out. Oh, Trump speaking. Shit. We'll try and skip forward a little bit. He just showed up. God, I'm terrible at jumping forward. Can't be that far. So Trump will not sit in jail. I thought they were going to take that opportunity. There we go. There's Donnie.
This was a disgrace. This was a rigged trial by a conflicted judge who was corrupt. It's a rigged trial, a disgrace. They wouldn't give us a venue change. We were at 5% or 6% in this district, in this area. This was a rigged, disgraceful trial. The real verdict is going to be November 5th by the people. And they know what happened here, and everybody knows what happened here. You have a Soros-backed DA, and the whole thing. We didn't do a thing wrong. I'm a very innocent man, and it's okay. I'm fighting for our country. I'm fighting for our Constitution. Our whole country is being rigged right now. This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent. And I think it's just a disgrace. And we'll keep fighting. We'll fight till the end and we'll win because our country's gone to hell. We don't have the same country anymore. We have a divided mess. We're a nation in decline, serious decline. Millions and millions of people pouring into our country right now from prisons and from mental institutions, terrorists, and they're taking over our country. We have a country that's in big trouble. But this was a big decision right from day one with a conflicted judge who should have never been allowed to try this case, never. And we will fight for our Constitution. This is long from over. Thank you very much.
Why should voters vote for a convicted felon?
Are you going to drop out?
You believe in the rule of law?
You trust the jury?
There's their other question. Are you going to drop out? What's up, Cornpone? How you been? All right, so they did poll the jury. It was unanimous. They polled into each individual juror. Trump was found guilty on all 34 counts. His sentencing is going to be July 11th. July 11th. For first-time offender on this type of offense, the sentencing guidelines are probation and one hell of a fine. But that's up to the judge, the same judge that ran this trial. So that doesn't give you any hope for the future. if you want my thoughts on it, I think this is an absolute shit show. I think Soviet trials are probably ran more fairly, and this is a bad look. I mean, even if you can, you shouldn't. even if you you can, you shouldn't. And a lot of people refrained. There were several prosecutors that turned down this case and didn't want anything to do with it. Some because, I mean, let's be honest, the charges are not crazy. 34 all based on 34 different records, and some of them were duplicate records, so some of them are the check and then the ledger. Trump was not remanded into custody, so he will not spend a time in jail awaiting his sentencing. But yeah, I mean, this is insanity. This is Soviet level show trials, and like I said, I think even the Soviets probably are a little bit more fair with shit. Biden's hands are all over this. He's been part of the process the entire time, so you can't sit there and say that, oh well, he had nothing to do with it. Evident by Robert De Niro speaking last night. They hate this man, and like I said, I've always contended, going back months and months, that the first step was to, dust him up and discourage people from voting for him. They see that's not working. The next step is lawfare and all these completely bogus charges, and now we're seeing the fruits of that. When that doesn't work and the polls come out next week and he's even more higher in the polls, I think they call up his good friend Hillary Clinton and eliminate Uncle Don. I think that's the track that this is going on, and nothing has changed my opinion to this point. So it's unfortunate, and again, we see a further divide in this country. There's genuine hatred on each side, and some of that is warranted. I think in large part the powers that be are responsible, because if you can divide, that's how you rule. If people are looking at you, they might notice the fucked up things that you're doing and take notice and make a change. I think it's unfortunate, and although I didn't see that, this is not shocking to me. I said at the top of the show, like, this is going to be the result. Get ready for it. I didn't even look at the poll. I guess we could look at that real quick. 67% of you guys did not agree with me, though. 67% said not guilty. You just saw it the whole time. I mean, they telegraphed it. The district, the way it was handled, all that good stuff. You knew that this was probably, unfortunately, going to be the outcome. So, July 11th is his sentencing. Should realistically probably be probation and a fine. But they get their talking points. They get their convicted felon. They get their, celebrity status of Alvin Bragg on the left. And you get all that kind of stuff. So, I'm still voting for Donald Trump. This changes nothing. You can find him guilty on all, what the hell is it, 91 counts or whatever now. I'm still voting for the guy. And to hell with it, I'll write him in if I have to. So, interesting to see. I think the biggest thing is going to be, what does the Republican Party do at this point? As I've said, from the ground, there's one hell of a divide there too. Do they bail on Trump? Are they going to make it impossible? That would be my concern, and my kind of thoughts moving forward is, you may well see the Republican Party bail on Donald Trump, and try and remove him from the ballot on their side too. So, need a fucking appeal. There'll certainly be an appeal. I don't know it's going to do any good. Again, juries are really hard to overturn. Really hard to overturn. They generally like to err on the side of the jury for better or worse. So I think it's going to be a tough road for Donald Trump. I think in the grand scheme of things, it probably doesn't matter. As long as he's still allowed and able to run for president, I don't think he gives two damns that he has 91 felony counts or however many it ends up being. Like, I think it's just water under the bridge for Uncle Donnie at this point. But we'll continue to see. We'll continue to watch, and it'll be interesting to see what America's cities and towns look like tonight. Not trying to encourage or entice or even give the appearance of encouragement of any kind of leftist behavior, but I think you might see some. I think you might see some pissed off patriots kind of pushing back, and I discourage it. If we're being completely frank, it just gives them another win and lets them screw with us just a little bit more. So, but ladies and gentlemen, Uncle Donnie is a pimp now. 31 or 34 felony counts for the Don. And God, it's a sad day here in America. And this is going to continue to happen. This is going to volley back, and Trump is kind of a vindictive asshole person. Like, great guy, love him, but he's not gonna take this one laying down. So somebody's gonna get it from the other side when he gets elected as president, and if he gets elected as president. And this is gonna continue to just go back and forth, and that's my concern, is that where does it stop? There's who's left holding the bag, and what kind of country do we have after it's gone? So urge everyone to take a moment of caution. Let these dumbasses play their little games, and let's go win in November and make America great again. So until the next time that Trump gets convicted for some bullshit, I hope everyone has a wonderful night. I'm sure we'll be talking about this in Discord, and all that good shit. So I want to thank everybody for watching. I think it's total garbage. And y'all have a good night. Take care, y'all.